Day, your one-stop shop for the latest in the world of business, not just in Kenya, but in East Africa at large. I have some good news for all East Africans. DRC is finally part of the EAC, the 7th member who will be controlling 10% of Africa's economy, meaning for every 10 shillings rather, we'll be controlling 1 shilling will be coming from East Africa. But before then, we just want to have the COVID-19 updates. CAS Dr. Mercy Mwangangi is now speaking. Let's now cross over for that live feed, and then we'll resume with much more.
845 people aged between 15 to 18 years of age with Pfizer vaccine for their first dose. And so, fellow Kenyans, in line with the national regulations and legislation, the Kenya government recognizes all the COVID-19 vaccines that have been approved by WHO. Our government, through our regulatory agency, the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, has authorized the use of the following WHO-approved vaccines. 1, Pfizer Biotech. 2, Covishield and AstraZeneca AZD1222. Janssen, developed by Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Sinopharm and Sinovac Coronavac, as well as Bharat Biotech BBV152. That's the Covaxin vaccine. These vaccines are available, and we emphasize these vaccines are available for free in over 3,000 vaccination centers throughout the country. If you want to find out a vaccination site that is nearest to you, you can get this information from the Ministry of Health website at www.health.go.ke. As part of our COVID-19 heightened containment measures, the National Emergency Response Committee on Coronavirus, on the 21st of November, directed that everybody seeking in-person government services should be fully vaccinated and proof of vaccination availed by the 21st of December 2021. In public places, all persons must show proof of vaccination for admission, for example, into national parks, game reserves, hotels, bars, restaurants, as well as use of public transport means, including domestic flights, train, and PSVs. All visitors, tourists, and travelers from Europe must be fully vaccinated and provide proof of vaccination before entry into the country. These guidelines have therefore been developed to guide public interaction and operation at public facilities in line with the NERCC recommendations. It is important to note that these guidelines may be reviewed depending on the COVID-19 disease trends globally, but also within the country. It is important that we emphasize to you, in terms of proof of vaccination, what will be required. When you attend any organized event, be it a wedding, a funeral, receptions, organized parties, conferences, sports, trade fairs, workshops, you will be required to show proof of vaccination. Should you attend an indoor concert, theater, dance, symphony events, you will be required to show proof of vaccination. Licensed hotels, restaurants, cafes that offer table service, both indoor and patio dining, that includes liquor tasting rooms, wineries, breweries, distilleries, you will be required to show proof of vaccination. Pubs, bars, lounges, again, while visiting these facilities, you will be expected to show proof of vaccination. This includes nightclubs, casinos, movie theaters, game parks, game reserves, museums, supermarkets, shopping malls, indoor markets, banking halls, transport services including international and domestic flights, train services, PSVs, border, and taxi. You will also be required to show proof of vaccination in all government offices and all parastatal offices. The following requirements apply with respect and above to all those events and facilities. The event organizers or the facility manager or the government or parastatal office concerned must ensure the following. 1, that all protocols have been issued by the Ministry of Health for the prevention and control of COVID-19 have been observed. This includes, of course, hand washing, sanitizing, physical distancing, wearing of face masks, temperature checks, observance of signs and symptoms of COVID-19. All workers and service providers must have undergone COVID-19 vaccination and must possess COVID-19 vaccination certificates. All participants must provide a vaccination certificate as proof of being fully vaccinated against COVID-19. No participant, employee, or service provider should be granted access into a facility if they are not in possession of a vaccination certificate. Exemptions from vaccination against COVID-19 on medical grounds may be issued by a licensed medical practitioner. Children and adolescents below the age of 15 years are exempted from this requirement. No vaccination certificates provided by a participant are to be retained within the premises, or that the vaccination certificates are used for any other purpose other than for the confirmation of vaccination status. A person, including a parent, must be fully vaccinated if the person is leading, supervising, or assisting in a program that touches on children or youth, or even adults on a voluntary basis, including when they receive an honorarium for that purpose. Finally, it is the sole responsibility of an event organizer, facility manager, government or parastatal office to ensure that the above requirements are met. In the event of non-compliance, action shall be taken, which may include the following: withdrawal of license of the institution and of court proceedings. Each establishment or facility shall be required to nominate or designate a person responsible for verifying vaccination certificates at all facility access points.
Very well. That is the Chief Administrative Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mercy Mwangangi, right there, just giving the country direction with regard to how we should handle the COVID-19 pandemic. And just to give you a bit of recap, number one, you will be required to now show your certificates to access government services and, of course, some other areas and service providers which you will need in the country today. She has mentioned particularly government services, hospitals, and some other more which we'll give you in a short while. And, of course, for service providers, all protocols as appertaining COVID-19 must be observed to the latter, failure to which you risk losing your certificate, your operation certificate, and your license. Once again, we just want to reiterate the importance of staying safe during this COVID-19, during this festive season, rather, with regard to COVID-19. Remember, you will now need to show your certificate at any given point if you want to access government services. And of course, all service providers are being encouraged to observe and uphold the COVID-19 protocols to the latter. We, as the media, take our role here to continue sensitizing on the safety, on your safety during this festive